The Lifestyle Lowdown, audio downloads for life. The Lifestyle Lowdown, A Simpler Life by Lucy McCarraher and Annabelle Shaw. Welcome to A Simpler Life, a new way of looking at how you really want to live, the person you really want to be, and the way you really want to spend your precious time. In recent years, both in the workplace and on the home front, we've all been so carried away with doing, having, and achieving more that we've left ourselves no time to stop and check on where we're heading and why we're going there. Now it seems outside events have forced us to pause and take stock, made us question whether more is better, whether busy is best, and whether, without losing our ambition or our need to achieve, there's a more satisfying, simpler way to live. The fact is, you can make choices between what really matters to you and those things you've come to believe you ought to have, do, or be. But to do that, you must know what it is that gives your life meaning, nurtures your unique talents, and brings you true fulfillment. Reconnecting with your authentic values, needs, desires, and hopes can help you discover what that is. It's not necessarily easy, but it is simple. Simple is the new black. And here's why you should try it on for size. Coping with a growing number of sometimes conflicting demands has well-documented debilitating effects on your physical health, your psychological well-being, your ability to cope, and your overall level of contentment and satisfaction. Do you feel under constant pressure at work and at home, with so much going on that you never quite manage to meet all your commitments and get yourself organized, let alone work out what would really make you happy? Then maybe it's time to stop and assess the effects of your current lifestyle on your long-term health and happiness, and to think about what you really want out of life. But do you know what it is that you really want? Are you sure that you're the same person, with the same beliefs and aspirations that you once were? Your personal values are deep-seated and strong, but they can and do evolve over time. Identifying the values that make you the person you are today determines what you want to focus on in the future. What childhood dreams and adolescent aspirations have you abandoned as expectations and pressures gathered momentum and set you on a course directed more by outside forces than your own needs and wishes? Returning to those dreams that once meant so much to you will help you to appreciate those you fulfilled already and to realize how your remaining deep desires can still find expression in a simpler life. You'll need a map for this journey to your simpler life. Positive and well-defined goals give you clearly marked destinations, a planned itinerary, and regular signposts to keep you on track, while the internal compass of your core values constantly points you to your true destination. So coming up, we have an integrated and enjoyable series of exercises, some of which will involve nothing more than closing your eyes and recalling times, places, and feelings. Others will require paper and pen, and later on a diary or PC-based organizer. You can choose to listen all the way through at one sitting and then return to individual exercises at your own pace, or you can sit down right now with the equipment we suggest, ready to launch yourself into a refreshing revision of your life. It's really very simple. A word of warning before we start. As you're asked to close your eyes from time to time, you shouldn't attempt the exercises if you're driving a car or operating machinery. This is obviously for reasons of safety, but also because you'll want to give the exercises your full attention. Let's begin. Establishing personal values. When we talk about living a simpler, more authentic life, what exactly does that mean? Does it mean giving up things that we have and do? The truth is, a simpler life is not so much about giving things up, but rather about recognizing the importance of the personal values upon which our lives are based. Only when we understand what these values are and what they mean to us will we be in a position to give something up or to do something differently that will lead to living in a simpler, more authentic way. What do we mean by personal values, sometimes called core values? Whether we realize it or not, the foundations of a life are built upon values that have been created from childhood on, by our families and communities, by teaching and by example, through our interactions and relationships, experiences at work and play. Personal values are deeply held beliefs or attitudes which are our convictions, our standards, and our ethics, all rolled into one. Some of them stay with us for our entire life. Others are formed at a later stage and may replace ones which are no longer relevant to us. When we say of someone, "He's a family man," "She's power-hungry," or "They're courageous," we're reflecting what we believe to be among a person's most powerful priorities. Knowing our personal values is important because these values assert a profound influence on the course of our lives. Without them, we would be lost. They give meaning to our lives as well as direction. If we know what drives us, it becomes easier to follow a clear set of guidelines for our choices.